for this therapy session.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff at the bottom.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. We missed you guys. I know it's been forever since we've posted. Thank you guys for being patient. We do want to kind of touch base on like boundaries, because I feel like in a relationship that is something that we did learn like way later on.
Yeah, we learned the hard way.
I know, tears, like seriously the hard way. But it's okay. I mean, whatever. Like, what are we supposed to turn 18 and like know everything? I think it's important that like if we're gonna let people in on our lives, we want to be transparent about our situation and, you know, everything that we're going through. And so I think it's something that we did talk about. We did try to film this last week, and we were
it was cats and dogs.
We were going at it. I don't know if we would ever show that footage, but it ended up with like us just walking out of the sesh, and it just felt like a very bad therapy session.
Therapy gone wrong, for sure.
Oh, and then we went rogue with life for a second.
We're just laughing to keep the tears from coming, so.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I like to call 2022 like worst/best year of our life.
Definitely agree with that.
Right? Yeah. It just felt like there was so much going on, but all at once. And so I feel like one thing that is pretty important to talk about is like last year. Because I feel like we've talked about you coming out, our story before, like how we met. I feel like what we haven't talked about was 2022, which was, like I said, it was a good year, but it was also a year where we did learn a lot. And so I found out obviously January 25th, 2022. And I feel like the very next day, it did kick in a little. I was like, holy crap. Like,
it really started to sink in.
Yeah, it was just crazy. So the next day I was still working from home. I just remember like laying back down on my bed and being like, oh my God, like what is happening? Like what is happening? Like what do I do? Like I understood, but I obviously still had so many questions. Girl, like wouldn't you? Like, come on. Like I was like, oh my God, I need therapy. Like I need therapy. So in the meantime, because I knew therapy was going to take about a week or so, I got on Facebook. I was able to find a group that was strictly a support system for spouses. I just remember like writing everything out, like my story, basically. Like I've been dating this person for this many years. Like we have kids. I kind of knew like something was going on. Like this person just came out to me yesterday. Like, what do I do? Like, I just remember like crying and just spilling it out, but having the platform to have people just support me right away. It was honestly such an amazing group. I feel like I had the opportunity to meet people who were in my same situation, but it felt so good. Like I was just like, oh my God, thank God. Like there's somebody who I found who like gets it. Like they get it. I was happy that I was able to find something super quick for me when it came to support. This is where like the boundaries kind of go into place. I feel like I wanted to do a good job at understanding Drew and her boundaries and just like honestly getting to know her. What I learned later on in therapy was like I essentially am grieving. I mean, I know some people are going to be like, it's not the same thing. And absolutely, I know that it's not the same thing,
right,
but
it's a form of grieving.
Exactly. Right. Thank you. it is a form of grieving. And so I feel like what I learned in therapy was like, you really have to get to know this new, like, authentic version of your partner. And so letting go of the things that I used to know, how I used to treat you, like, it was a big change. And so I feel like as someone who like is new to this, we didn't obviously know how to handle it the very first year. I mean, who does? It felt wrong for me to ever say like, "Hey, I'm not ready for that yet," or can you maybe like tone it down, or I'm not ready to tell people, or like, can I process it, because as a wife, I feel like I jumped into like protection mode. Like I'm like, this is like my baby, like I need to take care of her. Like I just like I hopped into, like, I don't know, that's my personality. Like,
It is.
right? Like when
Yeah.
I love you, like I will fight for you. Like it's on some toxic like protection. I just feel like I was like, how can I make this so much easier, like for you? Like there were things that like didn't make me feel comfortable. One of them was like I wasn't ready to come out to people yet. I feel like I was still trying to process everything that was happening, but I felt selfish like saying that. And so I didn't, like I didn't say anything, and I was just like, what are we doing? Like, who
Right.
are we telling first? Like, how do you want to do this?
Exactly. And it's like that's the whole point of this video is to literally talk about boundaries and how important they are on both ends, not just on someone who's trans. It's literally also for the partner. It's on both ends. And that's what this video is really what we're really trying to get across. How important, and honestly any relationship, which is a good thing because we need to be the best versions of ourselves if we want to do better.
Yeah. And to love people, to love ourselves. Like, I just feel like that's one of them that right away I asked Drew, how can I support you? Like, how are we going to handle this? And Drew wanted to come out to certain people. And so I was able to support her. I did start the process of coming out to certain people. And I quickly noticed that there's people that are going to support and there's people that are not going to support. Like, I got told, I'm not going to use that pronoun. I'm sorry. And so I quickly was able to pump the brakes on that one. And thankfully, Drew understood. And so we kind of started to set a boundary when it came to that. Another thing was, I would probably have to say, is like the clothes. What I learned in the support group was that if your spouse is coming out a lot later in life, it's almost like that teenager little girl was so trapped. And so when they come out, it's just,
it's like I finally get to wear a dress. It's like I finally get to wear this. Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like a little girl that's officially a teenager, and you're taking her to the mall. She's excited about makeup, perfumes, clothes. I understood quickly, like, okay, this is not going to be a slow transition. This is something that, like, you're super excited about, and I have to support. And so I never really like held a boundary when it came to what you wore, how you wore it.
And I feel like that's where I could have hopped in and asked you, like, as your partner, like, are you okay with me doing this or wearing this? But like you said, I was just literally trapped for years that I was so excited to finally be able to wear, certain things. But that's where I should have also put your feelings into consideration and set these boundaries with you. Like, but that's the whole learning process of it.
I feel like last year a lot for me was just like understanding that this person was trapped. And I feel like I know a lot of people are not going to get it. From the moment that I met Drew, like I knew Drew was different. Obviously, like things happened in our relationship that made sense to me why you ended up coming out. So I feel like that was just something that I didn't feel comfortable to say, like me personally, like, can we take it slow? When I had found out you were transgender, I just feel like I almost didn't have like the time to process everything and like come out to myself. I get like, I know
Right.
I'm not transgender, but like I'm obviously in this relationship with this person.
Which is
Like
huge.
it is a part of my life, you know.
Right.
We have children together. Like it is something that is a part of my life, and it is something that I have to say to people that know me, like family, friends, coworkers, you know. And so I just felt like one thing was like not really being able to process just all of the changes that were about to happen. So last year just kind of felt like I have to be there, and the way that we kind of went about it was like, you deserve to live your life and your truth. I mean, with COVID and everything, like life just felt like so short. Tomorrow was not promised. I do have boundaries, and I feel like it was something that would cross like my mind, but it was just something that I didn't feel comfortable sharing with you because, like I said, I almost felt selfish. Like, how could I tell somebody else,
To not
hey,
fully express yourself certain
right?
ways or do I totally see where you're coming from. It's so awesome of you, honestly.
Yeah.
But like the fact that we're in a marriage and in a relationship, it's like you do need to say also, you know, what you're feeling and your boundaries. And I feel like honestly we had to learn the hard way. I learned the hard way. I hate that I made you feel like you were kind of forced to kind of like be super supportive when you were like, I could have pumped the brakes right here. I could have put like a boundary up. And oh, like, I'm sorry I came out so strong. Boundaries, if you don't have them, get them. That's kind
I feel like another thing too about last year was like so much was happening, right? So not only did you come out, I had kind of just started a new role within the company that I was at. And that role, like I said, it was so intense for me, like intense on a whole other level. I think I got like 2 weeks of training. Not only that, it was online virtual training. And not only that, out of like the 8 hours, you had to like train yourself for 2 hours, not including like your two 15-minute breaks on top of your hour lunch. So it just felt like I was just training myself, right? So I felt like my life was like relationship, career, they're like head to head. Like I was like
you didn't have time to like really
process
think and
any
process at
of
all.
them. I knew that I was
Yeah.
just like, y'all are both hard. I don't get this, but I mean, let's do it. Like I'm up for any challenge. And then like most of you know, and if you don't know, Drew does photography and such amazing photography. We were able to join one of our friends, Pat, on a lot of the shows, and I just felt like we were just busy. Like 2 kids, pandemic is sort of ending. Gavin was not in school. I had my career. You had photography. Like it was so much going on that I didn't have time to process fully what was happening.
Very true. So true.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Because this year I feel like we're like mellowed out. Like I feel like this year we're like,
Right, and now we're like, okay, let's do damage control. Let's talk about these things. And now this is, I feel like, us building a stronger foundation
yeah,
for our relationship and stuff. So that's cool.
it feels like live therapy. So some of these sessions are hard, like to talk about, like I said. But yeah, to this year, it does feel like damage control. It feels like like I said, we kind of got through like another phase of our relationship, because I was going to say like December, I crashed and I just sort of lost it. I felt like I was giving all of me to everybody, my kids, you, my job, the business, helping you grow it and promote it, that I feel like December was when you and I started to have like real uncomfortable conversations about like maybe we shouldn't be together. Like maybe you need to focus on you and you need to grow without having somebody like me tell you, like, hey, I don't want you to wear that, or my mom doesn't know yet, like, please don't go in that outfit, or, we're going to a certain city, like, I don't think you should wear that, I don't, like I said, I don't want to be the person to tell somebody how to live their life, but what I want people to understand is like, it's okay for you to like speak up. And I was telling Drew, like, we don't have to be together. Like I can live with this heartbreak for a little bit and then I can get over it. You and I will always be best friends. Like I felt like I needed to start having boundaries in place because I felt like my life was just at an all-time low. Like I just felt like, how did all of this happen? Like how? My career, like I said, I wasn't happy. My relationship, I didn't even know what was going on. And to go through all of that with like 2 kids and to try to heal yourself, it was hard. So I feel like it was so awesome that this year we were able to start the year off with like us just having like deep and uncomfortable conversations about like what we both want in our relationship.
Exactly.
And like things that we're ready for, things that we're not ready for. And the reason why we did want to record this is because it's okay for like you and your relationship to not know things. Like there's no perfect way to come out. There really isn't. Like
It's terrifying. Yeah, there definitely is not a perfect way to come out. It's up to you when you feel ready. And I know it's going to be devastating to certain people, but I feel like so is living a life where you're closeted and you're sad and depressed and your mental health is deteriorating. It's also not doing good for anyone, especially yourself. So just try to be easy on yourself and the ones around you, and also have boundaries and keep them in mind. Just spread love, and like we're all here for each other at the end of the day. We all should be here for each other.
yeah.
And I'm glad that you're here right next to me.
Got your back.
Same girl.
So yeah. Like I feel like a lot of people are so quick to judge, Like I remember when I was first coming out to people and I was really telling them like how my relationship was and everything was, and people are so quick to just be like, leave that person, like you don't deserve that and this and that. And of course it's like, yeah, I could just like dip out and be like, screw you, you're messed up, like why did you do this to me? But I don't know, I just feel like I look at life differently. We're learning to both have a voice, to both understand each other, and we tell each other every day, like, if it doesn't work out and we end up becoming best friends, we can say we tried. I feel like what's most important is like us not losing ourselves. Like you need to do you and I need to do me. Yeah. I know for me it's hard to communicate my feelings sometimes because I feel like I'm asking for too much, but it's true when they say like, you will never be too much for the right person. Like you won't, there are people out there who will love you unconditionally and learn to love you as you grow in life. And it's important to keep those people in your life because girl, nobody's perfect. Like everybody telling me like, you should leave, like get out, divorce and this and that. And like what? Like you expect me to go find someone that's going to be so perfect? Like we all have a past. We all have trauma. We all go through things. If Drew and I can communicate how we feel and we're happy, I don't see why there's something wrong with that. Like, I really do not. I know people are looking at me like, oh my God, I feel so bad for you. Girl, I'm fine. I am fine. I am healthy. We are financially stable. We have so much love in this house. Like, no, don't feel bad for me. You know, I think one thing that has really been like a super huge eye-opener for the both of us is my aunt is really struggling right now with her health, and it's like I'm not going through something like that. And I think that's what humbles me down so fast, is that like my situation is okay. Like, it's something that we're just gonna have to talk about, something that we're gonna have to go through. And with boundaries, I feel like it's gonna be a healthy journey for us.
I definitely agree.
So, sí se puede.
Stop, I don't know what that means.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we can. But we just wanted to end this on a positive note, that if there's anything that you and your relationship or your partner are going through, and you have people in your ear that don't understand, girl, for me, it's the people that are toxic. It's the people who don't even, like, they have a life that you don't even want, that are in your ear, which I get it. I know we have to be open to people, but there's some people where you can tell that their intentions are good. And then there's some people who just want to be like the you should people. And I know you know what I mean by the you should people. It's like,
Jesus.
You should do this and you should do this and you should. I'm like, you should shut the up is what you should do.
Yeah, we're bleeping that out.
We're gonna bleep it out, yes, sure. But just whatever you're going through, whether it's with your parents, your coworkers, your whoever, like, don't ever be afraid to speak how you feel.
As long as you're respectful, it's
Yeah.
completely fine.
Don't ever feel like you can't say how you feel. We love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around.
Can we hug it out? Oh. This video was